Going live in 10, 9, 8. Well, I'm a bit too early, but you know. Hi guys, everyone on Instagram Live. Hello and welcome to another episode of Outspoken Truths. So today, it's just myself, so it's just going to be me rambling on. Well, not even rambling on, sharing some insight and some, diamonds, dropping the gems on you guys on a topic that I think most people know about, but I'm not, or maybe heard the term, but I'm not really familiar with it. So I want us to talk about chakras and like, what are chakras? What do chakras do? If you haven't done so already, you can follow us live on Instagram Live. That's at b.idol. Or, like always, you can drop in your comments, questions via WhatsApp on 077-879-39958. So today's episode of Outspoken Truths, we're going to be talking about chakras. Chakras. I'm sure you must have heard of this. Chakras. What are chakras? So, let's start off with what they are. Like, the presumption is chakras is something mystical, that no one really knows about, or is mystical and you have no clue. Whereas chakras is, pretty simply put, energy centers within your body. When it says energy centers, what are energy centers? These are like little, imagine a little football, not even a football, it might be too big, depending how strong your chakra is. But just imagine a little ball filled with light and reflecting different colors. So why do we have these energy centers? These energy centers help regulate the body, regulate the system, and it connects mind, body, and spirit. As we know, we are the trilogy. Actually, sometimes, not even sometimes, some people say that there's more than 3 parts to us, because there's a consciousness as well, divine consciousness. So body, mind, spirit, divine consciousness. So body, mind, soul, divine consciousness. So with that being said, if everything is entwined with everything and it needs each other to operate, it needs each other to, alleviate ailments, then it makes sense for us to have energy centers that are responsible for different parts of the body. So starting off with chakras, like we said, they are concentrated energy centers, and we have these on different parts of the body. So depending on your ability, if you're clairvoyant, you could probably see the colors, or you could see where those are placed. Just to start off, we can run through where these are located. We've got the basic chakra, which is also known as the root chakra, which is basically at the bottom of your it's basically at the root. It's at the root. It's like at the bottom of your. It's by your. At the bottom of your. How I'm trying to say, like it's at the bottom, like just over beginning of your legs, basically. That's where the root chakra is, at the bottom of your behind. Yeah, at the bottom of your spine, bottom of your behind. Basically, that's the root. That is what grounds you. That is what keeps you grounded to Mother Earth. That's what keeps you grounded to, just keeps you grounded. When people are often like, what do you do to ground yourself? This is what they mean. Because if you're not grounded, and let's say you just operate from the higher chakras, you'll be a bit like airy-fairy and kind of floating and not really having a grip, because the root chakra is actually responsible for survival instincts. So this is like fight or flight. Fight or flight is obviously like, imagine us way back when, like during primal times, where it was just like hunters and gatherers, and you'd see the lion, or you'd see the crocodile, and you have a fight or flight. So that is what you needed. Your root chakra needs to be grounded, for you to have a firm and stable foundation. Now, as we're not hunters and gatherers, or we are evolved hunters and gatherers, the crown chakra, I'm skipping. Like the root chakra now is linked to your source of survival. Nowadays, source of survival is income. Source of survival is having the essentials that you need. Source of survival is fight or flight. Sometimes if you're crossing the road and you see something coming at you, so in that moment it's fight or flight situation, and the root chakra will kick in. So it's good to have a strong root chakra. It's good to be grounded, you know. Moving on, we have the sacral chakra, which is near your reproductive system, or responsible for your reproductive system. So the sacral chakra, also known as the sex chakra, is linked, funny enough, to another chakra, which is your throat chakra. Sacral and throat are linked. Creativity and sexual energy is linked. Your sacral chakra is like I said, responsible for your reproductive system, is responsible for, you know, reproducing. What else is the sacral chakra? What else is the sacral chakra? What's the word? Like responsible for is your creativity, because your creativity is linked to your throat chakra. Throat chakra is linked to the sacral chakra. So the color, I forgot about the colors. The root chakra is seen as red. Red, you know, fight or flight. The sacral chakra is orangey, orangey. Then just above your sacral chakra just above your sacral chakra, so your stomach area, is your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is like the computer of all your emotions. Imagine, a computer that has to obviously understand all these functions. So your sacral chakra is responsible for all your emotions, especially emotions of anger, resentment, emotions such as motivation, strive, emotions such as the ability to complete something. You know, that fire kicks the passion. That is the solar plexus, and you feel it here. And even sometimes, you know, when you say, "Oh, I can feel it at the pit of my stomach," or I can feel it in my gut, that is the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is usually yellow, and you have two solar plexuses, or entry points or outry points, like, because it expels and attracts. So you've got the front solar plexus and the back solar plexus. So the solar plexus, if you're attentive, and sometimes even just take your time or take that split second when somebody sometimes tries to pass off their energy. I don't know if you guys have it, because sometimes for me, if I walk into the office or whatnot and I'm feeling super happy, and then somebody just like wants to pass off their anger, I'll feel it in my solar plexus. I'm like, no, that's not mine. Like, you can keep that to yourself, you know. And it's recognizing that empowers you to change it, and there's recognizing that empowers you not to take that on. So obviously everyone can like easily try and pass on their anger, their resentment, their hatred towards you, but you have the power to decide to take it on and absorb it into your aura, or you have the power to repel it and to just let it slide, basically. So that's the solar plexus. It's responsible for passion. It's what kicks you into gear. You know, when you have a passionate project and you're sitting there and you think, I really want to do this, but I can't. It's most likely your solar plexus is off balance. Not solar plexus. Yeah, your solar plexus, sorry. Like your solar plexus is off balance. So to do even cleansing, or if you have like emotions of resentment, of emotions of disappointment, emotions of even sometimes hatred, because hatred will come from the heart, but because the heart and the solar plexus are kind of close together, they're also linked. So the solar plexus is responsible for the lower emotions, lower part of the emotions. There is no such thing as good or bad emotions. Emotions are just an indicator of how you are at present. I definitely also believe that you need to go through all the motions because emotions set you into motion. If we didn't have emotions, we'll just be and we'll just have one experience, and that would be so down, that would be so ill, basically. Because obviously the emotions give you contrast. The emotions allow you to see different things and allow you to experience different things, and the contrast will allow you to ask or focus on the things that you do want. So we do need to have these different emotions. Like, having no emotion isn't a good thing. For example, something might have happened to you and you might be upset and angry and resentful. It's better to be angry and resentful and seek revenge. I have the emotion of revenge than to sit there and have no emotion whatsoever. Because when you have no emotions whatsoever, one, you're just going to be complacent. Two, you don't exist. You're not moving, you're stagnant, So, like, if you're stagnant and if you're not moving, what does that mean? You're just there on autopilot, and that's it. So, obviously, if you have the emotion of revenge, we're not saying go out and fulfill the revengeful thought, but it's an indicator that you're feeling. So if you're feeling, you can now transmute that emotion into something else. So you can understand, okay, this situation has upset me, this person has wronged me, or this situation has wronged me, so now I feel like I want to be vengeful. But now, instead of being vengeful, you're like, okay, take a step back, and be like, okay, vengeful, play out, it's not going to actually end well, I'm going to end up in a worse off situation, or in a much more, unfavorable situation. So I'm vengeful, but I'm not going to play it out. I'm actually going to bless this person and let it go. So as you're blessing this person and letting it go, you're learning more about yourself. So it's like, okay, this person's wronged me, but what could I learn, or what can I learn from this situation? So as you're going through that, now you're moving through different emotions. You're moving through different emotions into higher emotions. So that's why it's important to have a emotion, because the emotion will move you into motion. So with that being said, that's solar plexus. And solar plexus is yellow. And like I said, sometimes you might come in contact with people where you feel it in your gut. So I feel it in my gut. I feel it in the pit of my stomach. That's you feeling it in your solar plexus, So, in all honesty, let's go up to the next one. The next one is the heart. The heart. The heart is green. Most people would think the heart is like pink or something. Nah, guys, the heart is actually green. And the heart obviously is about love. It's about community. It's about it's stepping into the higher emotions. It's stepping into gratitude. It's stepping into compassion. It's stepping into I would say fulfillment, but when I say fulfillment, not fulfillment you've manifested something and now you're fulfilled. It's fulfillment because the act of service. It's the fulfillment through the act of kindness. It's fulfillment because you are not just operating for yourself now, but you're operating on a grander scheme. So it's nourishment. Because as you perform acts of service, yes, you're helping the other person, but it also nourishes you and it replenishes you. Think back to the last time you did something out of your initiative or because your intuition told you to, and it was for somebody else, and that feeling that you get, and it's not so much the feeling of gratitude, it's just you in the act while you're doing the act, because you're doing it for somebody else. And obviously because we are part of the grand design, we're part of everyone, we are made from the image of God, we are part of the universal design, we are piece of the universe. So it makes sense that when you're acting and helping another interpretation of you, because obviously God came out and made or replicate itself. Like, we are experiencing this experience, we are piece of God, and we are piece of the universe, we're piece of divine, and we are different expression of divine. So if you're helping that different expression of divine, it makes sense you're helping yourself. So as you're helping, you're nourishing yourself, you're replenishing yourself. It's a heart space, it's thick, it's, giving and loving. But you'll find sometimes people have a big heart, they're very giving and loving and everything, but then they forget themselves, which means now that you are at an energetic deficit. Why? Because it's easy to be like, oh, I have to be giving, I have to be forgiving, I have to be this, I have to be that. But if it comes from the space of I have to, then it doesn't replenish as it should, because you can't help anyone if you're not helping yourself. You can't lift somebody up if you've got a weak back. So in all honesty, you have to take care of self first, and then you can help somebody else. And that's the essence of it. So that's the heart. Let's go to the throat. The throat is obviously the throat is blue. The throat is blue. It's all about creativity. It's all about creation. It's all about you expressing yourself. It is linked to your vocal box. Personally, if I overextend myself, I feel it in my throat chakra. My throat chakra will just be like, yo, you need to stop talking for a while. And then my throat feels funny. And then I know it's not, because of a cold or this. It's just I overextended myself. Most creatives you'll find have a very active sexual chakra and throat chakra. Because the two are interlinked. And depending on your use will depend on the result. So, meaning, because they're all highly active, you can transmute the sexual energy into creative energy and express it through the throat. Or you can just use the highly sexual energy and release it primitively, or you release it physically, meaning you're highly sexually active. If you transmute your sexual energy through and let it out through the throat, it will bring you more, I personally find it will bring you more of a rewarding experience. Meaning, you are supercharged. Meaning, what you are creatively producing will be on another level. Meaning, your expression is amplified through your throat chakra. Through the throat. So, we're going through the throat, and then we're gonna go to the forehead. So the forehead chakra, or third eye. No, actually, yeah, the forehead chakra, or the third eye. The third eye is just in between here. And the third eye is also called the Ajna chakra, which is basically in between your eyebrows. Third eye is responsible for clairvoyancy. Foresight is responsible for your higher intuition. It's responsible for when you're planning and you're planning 5 years ahead, you're most likely going to be using your third eye. Or is responsible for you seeing somebody and seeing somebody, this person's good energy, and you have no clue. Like you haven't met them before, you haven't spoken to them, but you just see them, you're like, yeah. It's responsible for also translating communications you get through the brain, through your crown chakra. It's also responsible for sleep. So during the sleep state, certain people, anyone in fact, not even certain people, some people have experienced it, some people have not yet. Astral projection, when you're literally leaving. Anyway, I believe, first of all, that when we sleep, all of us travel. There's no way we're staying in that, like our consciousness travels. So obviously our body stays in the bed, but your consciousness travels outwards. So essentially meaning you could actually meet up with your friend during your sleep state. So you could be like, listen, let's meet at the park, or let's meet at Big Ben, or let's meet at, the Sphinx of Giza, or let's meet, at the Golden Bridge. And then you go, like I said, your consciousness travels out, your body stays there. And then as your consciousness travels out, you can definitely meet up with different people. So, and then astral projection is another element to it, where your body is here, but your consciousness is out. So essentially, I could be sitting here in front of the microphone, but my consciousness is at the door, and I can literally physically, let's say, enter the door, or physically come into the door, or go through the door, but my body is here. So it's like kind of materializing yourself in another space. I think with astral projection, we should probably do another episode on it. And I'll share my experiences during the episode. So that is the ajna, the eyebrow, eyebrow chakra. So now for the crown chakra. The crown chakra, hello to everyone that's tuning in on Instagram Live. Thank you so much. Hi Wilford123. Hi hype_colo_. So did you guys know about chakras? Drop your comments and we'll read them out on here. So so the throat, we're on the throat still. I'm still on the throat. So the crown chakra. The crown chakra is, like it says, it's on your crown, it's on your head. That is direct communication to divine. Your crown chakra, everyone has a crown chakra. Depends how skilled or spiritually developed you are, will depend on maybe the size of the crown, or depending on what you're going through will depend the size of your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is literally direct information from divine. When you have questions or you wonder things and all of a sudden the answer pops into your mind, that is the crown chakra. That's you connected to the divine. The crown chakra, usually when they do show a color, is kind of like indigo. No, this is purple. Sorry, the ajna is purple. And then the crown chakra is sometimes indigo, or sometimes it's gold, or sometimes it's like white gold. So, because the crown, ultimately you can expand your crown chakra, or your crown chakra can shrink depending on what practices you are engaging. For example, when you're meditating, your crown chakra expands because you're detaching yourself from any thoughts, you're detaching yourself from anything that you're just focused on one center point, or you're focused on one point. So you're able to detach, and as you're able to detach, you're allowing the energy, universal energy, to flow within you, through you, and around you. So your crown chakra expands. When you're doing acts of service, for example, and you're helping somebody, your heart chakra expands because you're using it. So it really does depend on what is going on, the circumstances in your life, what's the situation, what you are doing. It depends on what's going on, where your head is at. Even like small things like nutrition can help or can deter. So, for example, the pineal gland, which is like kind of like a mini brain behind your ajna, behind your forehead chakra. Well, inside the brain, basically. Inside your brain, inside your head. And that chakra, if you, for example, take too much fluoride, if you eat too much of like white starches and white carbs, it will clog it up. Hello, Mr. Farr. Hello, Wilford 123. You know, let us know what you guys think about chakras. Are you aware of them? Do you know them? You know, have you experienced anything in relates to the chakras? So, yeah, like I was saying, the pineal gland, you can clog it up. Or you can decalcify it. Basically, fluoride calcifies it, which means it's covered in calc, and you might not be able to, or it might hinder your connection. It might hinder your connection with the divine. It might hinder your connection to your other chakras. For example, when you have too much calc in your system, it sticks to the pineal gland. When it sticks to the pineal gland is not able to function properly. So when it's not able to function properly, that means you're not able to think properly. So you get like clouded thoughts. It's almost like you kind of hear you hear what you're supposed to do, but at the same time you don't. So in all honesty, being aware of your intake will make a difference. And then seeing also how you feel after you intake certain foods or certain drinks. I like to... Mr. Farr says, teach us, but I've got a few friends like you into it and come across some things, so learning. That's lovely. Yeah, like chakras, your energy centers are there to help us. And a fun fact as well, before an ailment physically manifests itself, you'll be able to feel it in your energy center. So in your aura, it will be floating in your aura. You can see it or you can treat it by focusing on the chakra that's responsible for it. For example, if you have an ailment such as a dry throat, let's talk, for example, from my experience. When I overextend myself, like I said, my throat goes dry, or if I'm not creatively releasing the energy, if I'm not creative, it will just kind of hold itself together, and before you know it, I can't really talk. And before, I used to think it was because of shouting when I go out or alcohol intake, but then I wasn't even consuming that much alcohol anyway. And then as I stopped drinking, and it's been over like 2 years now, I've noticed sometimes it happens still. So obviously we were like, okay, it's not the alcohol. Me and my friends were like, okay, it's not the alcohol. And then I stopped going out like that, and then we were like, it's actually not, we didn't go out, so it's not that. So that's when I came to realize that actually it's because either I overextended myself, or overextended in the sense as in I went over my boundaries. Because everyone has personal boundaries. If you overextend yourself over your boundaries, and your essence didn't agree with that, then you will feel a reflection of it in one way or another. Or if I wasn't creatively active and all this energy was within me and I didn't release it, then my throat goes dry. So what I would do is this. If you'd like to cleanse before the physical ailment comes, you'll feel maybe like a bit of scratching in your throat, or you'll feel a little bit tingling. So you can do a crystal treatment. I'm sure there's a couple of crystal treatments online, but I actually do crystal treatments. So I'll just do a crystal treatment on myself, or I would use pranic healing to heal that side or that part. Pranic healing is a non-physical, non-contact form of healing where you heal using energy. So like I said before, it physically manifests. It manifests energetically. So it will be floating in your aura, or you can see that there's an imbalance within the chakra. Or what you can always do also, which really helps if you don't have a clue, is having a salt shower, because it disintegrates energies that are not suitable for you, or it will disintegrate energies that don't serve you. Another thing you can do is spirit water. Spirit water is basically, you get a glass of water and you place a name on it. So you place whatever you want on it, whether it's healing, whether it is healing your throat, healing in general. Then you leave it for 24 hours and you put that intention into the water, and at the end of the day you drink the water, and you can repeat that process so many times and you'll see a difference. So salt baths, Mr. Fa asked about salt baths. Yeah, salt baths is basically, you can run your bath as normal. You can run your bath as normal, and then you add salt. It doesn't have to be no fancy Himalayan salt. It doesn't have to be no, I don't know, rock crystal salt. It can just be normal salt, like 30p salt from Tesco's. Then you put it in the bath. You let the bath run. If you want to be fancy, you can add essential oils if you like. And then just sit in it, and your intention will be that it will cleanse you. So, soap bath does help, but sometimes it's kind of long to have a bath. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel like having a bath is like a whole ritual thing, because even me, I will have to put the salt, put the essential oils, put the candles, and I feel like without that, it's not really a bath. It's like, you know. So what you can do instead, on a daily basis, you can have salt showers, which means you wet yourself, you put salt, that 30p salt on you, you dab it everywhere, and then once you dab it everywhere, you leave it on for a minute and then rinse it off. And as you do that, all the energy that's not for you will leave. So I always have salt baths at least once a week. That's good. That's a good thing. Once a week. Like I said, I'll do it daily now with the salt showers, just because sometimes the bath, you know, is okay. I'll get into the salty showers too. Yeah, it's really good, especially once you have a super stressful day, and then you go to shower and you put it on, and after that you just kind of put your PJs and you're ready. You sleep like a baby, one, and two, everything that you were thinking about is just gone, just like that. But salt is healing, and also water is healing, depending how you use it. Like I mentioned, you can do spirit water. Spirit water is you manifesting, or you charging the water with the intention. And Dr. Emoto in Japan did this research, or did like studies with this, where he had different glasses of water, froze them, but put a different intention on all of them. One, he said, I love you. The other one, he said, I hate you. The other one, he kind of neglected. And then he put rice in the water as well at the beginning. So the one that he said, I love you, sprouted beautifully and smelled amazing. The fragrance was amazing. The one he said, I hated, rotted or deteriorated. And, the one he said, I hate you, didn't do anything. It just stayed, I think, and it was decomposing. And the one he neglected rotted. So he was saying basically neglection is worse than actually hating, and which goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, that it's better to have an emotion than no emotion, because when you have an emotion, you can transmute that emotion, but if you have no emotion, you'll be stagnant. So then he repeated the study again, but with music this time. One of the crystals, he played Mozart, classical music. One of the crystals, I'm saying crystals, because they formed into crystals. So it was water particles that then he froze. So one water particle had classical, one water particle had heavy metal, another water particle had like pop or something, and another water particle had another like alternative music. The one that had classical music, beautiful pattern. The one that had alternative, I think it was alternative Tibetan music, beautiful pattern form. The one that had pop, it was alright. It wasn't like a beautiful pattern, but it wasn't, you know. The one that had heavy metal was a destructive pattern. So he was saying basically you can do it with the intention, like the word and then writing the word and then sticking it on the paper. Or even music, that the vibration of music influences the water. And then he did a third one where he collected water from different parts of the earth. One was in St. Louis in France, one was in a Tibetan town, one was in India, I think, the slums, don't quote me on this, and one was like the water supply, a natural water supply somewhere else, reserve in Japan. And then he found that all these different waters, again, had different particles depending where they are. So the one that was in the slum was very destructive. The one that was in St. Louis had beautiful patterns, because obviously it's holy water, seen as holy water. And the one in the Japanese creek or something had a nice pattern as well. So he came to the conclusion that water holds information. Water communicates. Water stores information and communicates, because if you communicate towards water, it will absorb that information. Meaning, and makes sense if you think about it. Aren't we made 80%, I think it's more about 80% of water. If we make 80% of water, it makes sense that whatever we're telling ourselves, even in affirmations, will manifest or will come to pass because the water is hearing it. The water will then reciprocate or communicate with what you're telling it, so it will become that. It's storing that information. So obviously if you're like, I am brilliant, I am amazing, I can do this, then obviously the water within you will store that information of I am brilliant, I am amazing, I can do this. Same way, if you have negative self-talk, that will manifest because the water will be like listening to that negative self-talk. So everyone has a voice inside their head. Everyone has self-talk. So it depends. What is your self-talk with yourself? Is it, you know what, you can do this. It doesn't matter. You know what, I feel like I don't want to do this today, but we're going to do it because it's going to be the best day, or we're going to do it because we're focusing on this, we're focusing on self-love, we're focusing on just that one step, that one intention can make a big difference. Because at the end of the day, not everyone is going to feel 100% all the time. I'm not going to lie to you. Today, I woke up this morning thinking that, I'm not really, But it was just then, I took that shower and I was literally going through the motions. It's like, yes, you might not feel like you want to go or get up today, but focus on one thing. One thing. Just one thing at a time. Thank you, Miss Jafar, for joining in today. She's off now. Lovely. So, guys, if you want to see this IG live, you can do so on b.idol. And if you want to drop in a comment, you can always WhatsApp us at 0778 793 9958. So, with that being said, like, it's just one thought. Take one step at a time. Essentially, when you think about the big grand picture, that's when sometimes you get overwhelmed. But when you realize actually the power lies within you, then you're able to take that step forward. Like I said, focus on that one thing. So with that being said, the chakras. If you want to activate a certain chakra, as we mentioned, chakras have different colors. We have red for basic root. We have orange for sacral sex chakra. We have yellow for solar plexus. We have green for heart. We have blue for throat chakra. We have purple for the forehead, ajna chakra. And we have, I would say gold, because obviously, like I said, a violet, for crown chakra. So if you want to activate one of these chakras, you can do so simply by wearing the color. So if you want to activate your heart chakra, just put on a green top, put on a green shirt, put a green jumpsuit, a green dress, even a green scarf, and you feel that it will vibrate to that chakra. If you want to feel more creative, go and activate your throat chakra using blue. So surround yourself with blue, surround yourself or wear blue, and you will activate the throat chakra. So it's understanding how we operate, or understanding our being, that will enhance us and give us tools to enhance ourselves. Because this is something like simple principle. If you, for example, do not believe in it and you're like, chakras, what are these? Energy centers don't exist, la 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 la. Okay, fine. And that's fine, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But why not try it? Try it like just one day. Just try it, even humor yourself. Try it as an experiment. Be like, you know what? I'd like to feel more or attract more creativity into my life. So I'm going to actually focus on just wearing blue. And that's why I was saying even love. Most people think love is pink. I think it comes from social conditioning. That, you know, girls wear pink, boys wear blue. And it's actually not the case. Green is the color of the throat, the heart chakra, which is love. So if you focus on green, wearing green, it helps you feel more grounded. It will help you have more compassion. It will help you, you know, manifest more heartfelt experiences. Same way with blue, will help you manifest more creativity. If you want to be now aligned with your crown chakra or aligned with your higher self, now you go into the purples and violets and you focus on that and you bring that into your experience. So yeah, I think what else can happen? What else can happen is your chakras can be imbalanced, where you have a big heart, but your root chakra is tiny. What would that mean? That would just mean that this person's very giving, that they even overextend themselves, but they don't replenish. They don't give back to themselves. They don't have a good grounding. And the grounding is what you need to have a good footing as a basis. You know, like you wouldn't build a house if the foundation was weak, right? It's the same thing. It's basically, this house has a super strong first floor and second floor, but then the structure, the grounding is very weak. So it's like kids. Kids have so much energy, and that's why they're just bouncing up and down, because they've got the root chakra is really big, and they need that because the root chakra provides energy to all the other places to grow. So that's why kids, I tend to be very active, and they can't sit still, and you know, they're jumping up and down and all of this and all of that. So that is the root chakra. You have chakras that are responsible for different organs. It's logical, for example, to say, you know, that the root is responsible for the spine and the legs. The sex chakra is responsible for your reproductive system. There's actually more chakras than that. And those can be found, because most people talk about the 7 major chakras, right? And I just wanted to stick with the 7 major chakras in this one, in this talk, or in this episode, because there's like 11. I'm used to, in pranic healing, we learn about the 11 major chakras. In traditional or in other circles, or if you Google it, you'll find 7 chakras, but there's actually 11 major chakras. And then certain people will tell you about 15, and it goes up in numbers. But if we run through quickly the 11 chakras, off the top of my head, let's do that. Root chakra, basic chakra. Sex chakra, Meng Meng. Navel chakra. Meng Meng is a tiny chakra, but that's really, really powerful because it transmutes the energy from the root chakra, transmutes it into the higher chakras. So Meng Meng. So we have basic, sacred, Meng Meng, navel chakra, solar plexus, solar plexus, heart, throat. Then we have forehead, and then we have, there's 3 at the top of my forehead, crown, but in between forehead and crown there's a chakra, ajna. It's not the ajna, because the ajna is the forehead and then ajna, and then and then the frontal, back solar plexus, back heart, and back meng. That makes 11. Because usually with the 7 major chakras, they only talk about the front, whereas at the back we still have some. For example, that your heart is linked to the heart. The heart chakra is linked to the heart. So if you're doing treatments, or if you're looking to expand your heart or energize it, you wouldn't do it from the front, because the heart is very sensitive. So you would do it from the back. Which means that obviously you should go to a professional to get that done, for healing. I don't know how many of you guys actually have tried energy healing. I mean, there's different versions. There's like Reiki, there is Feng Shui, but I think Feng Shui is more about the energy of the room. There's pranic healing. There is Reiki, pranic healing. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I personally practice pranic healing, because I've seen the difference and it's amazing. And I would recommend everyone, if you'd like to try energy healing, to try pranic healing. So with that being said, like I said, the more you practice, or the more you're spiritually open, or the more you are aware, you will open up your chakras, and you can charge your chakras, and you can remove stuff from your chakras. A simple way to remove is intent. Intent is very powerful. It's something so small, and something overlooked often that people don't think about, but intent is everything. If your intention is to cleanse your aura, and you sit there, not even for that long, sit there for like a minute, and your intention is solely to cleanse your aura. I am cleansing my aura, and that is your intention, trust me, that is work already. Or if your intention is, you're feeling anger, and your intention is, I want this anger to leave, I'm intending for this anger to be released, you will release the anger. Intention is everything. Intention is more than tools. Intention is more vital than experience. Intention is more vital than anything you can think of. Intention. I think as humans, we tend to overcomplicate things, especially when we get older. I mean, kids have it down. Kids, they know how to manifest. Kids, like my little nephew would be like, oh, I want that. And like, he doesn't know anything about money. He doesn't know anything. He just knows he wants it, and he's going to be talking about it all the time, and how it is to play this toy, and then before you know it, somebody else might gift it to him. And that's not to say, because he asked for it, he got it. Yes, he did ask for it. He asked the universe. He was in that playful mindset of, I'm going to have it. It's going to be so cool. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it will manifest itself for him. Kids lose that when we socialize them into, no, everything is this simple. You must have this. There's this involved. You must get money. You must get... Kids don't know about money. They're like, what's that? I just want it. And, poof, it's there. So, as we grow up, we lose touch of that heartfelt lightness, that kindred heart, that playful side to us. And that's something we should actually hold on to. That's something that will actually benefit you. So it's playfulness. What I've said in this episode, if you don't believe it, fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. But would it hurt to try? Like, what if you tried and it worked? What if you tried using spirit water with the intention of healing yourself, or healing that left hole, or mending that wound, and it works? What then? Then it's great. You found a new tool. You found something. You found that your intention is very, very powerful, right? What if you sit there for a minute and you cleanse yourself of any negative situation? What if you sit there and you're like, actually, I don't want this person in my life anymore. Let me let them go. Let me physically remove. Let me energetically remove. It is okay. And you sit there and you do that. And you know what? You open yourself up. Because sometimes, not meaning so, but sometimes you can have people that bring a cloud over you. People that you're like, no, they're a bit cloudy, they're a bit rainy. And that's basically their energy that they hold that comes into play. So essentially, you just have to realize that you're the one that's in control. You are the one, like in the Matrix. In the Matrix, Morpheus was to Neo, you are the one. So basically, you are the one. You're the one that can and will impact your experience on this planet. So, your intention. What intention are you going to set for the day? When you wake up, do you set an intention for the day? Do you wake up and like, yo, today is going to be an amazing day because I am going to manifest happiness. Or today is going to be an amazing day because I'm going to have a fun experience. Or today is going to be an amazing day because I'm going to focus on self-love. You know, self-love in all forms. Today is going to be an amazing day because I'm understanding and cultivating understanding. Today is going to be an amazing day because I'm going to see sunshine everywhere. And trust me, the sun will be shining for you everywhere. So, the intention. So, even though we're speaking about chakras today and your energy centers and how they're responsible for your different organs and different parts, it's still your intention that drives the car, that drives the vessel. You know, this is a vessel after all, you know. And then essentially what you put, the intention is, that is what makes the difference. That is what makes the difference. So, with that being said, we've got like 4 minutes left. Oh guys, I swear when I'm here, I feel like time goes too fast. Like, I love chatting to you guys, man. Anyway, so we've got 4 minutes and we're going to wrap this up. If you want to find out more about chakras, you can easily go into Google, type in chakras, or type in pranic healing chakras, and then you will have like more information on that. I can go into detail about chakras in regards to which organs and specifically they're responsible for. If you want to know more about chakras, drop a comment. I can leave some stuff on my Instagram page, or you can inbox me, slide into my DMs on Instagram if you want to know more about chakras. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to be of service. So with that, I hope you guys had an amazing week. I hope you guys have cultivated some amazing things for yourself, that you are feeling from the heart space, that you know that everything's okay. Everything's okay, and things have to swing with the pendulum. It's a back and forth motion. Know that your inner guidance system is always guiding you. God's got you. God's actually got you. Do you know this? Do you know that God's got you? Like, you being here listening to this now, do you know that God's got you? Whether you're driving, whether you're at home, in the kitchen, making some lovely stew, yeah, or you're reading that book, or you're doing your house chores and I'm just here in the background. You know God's got you. Be sure of that. God's got you. Moving into this lovely new weekend, I wish you an amazing time. I hope that which you're thinking of, that which was weighing you down, will dissipate. Remember, because you have the intention to dissipate that fog. You have the intention to dissipate that situation. You have the power to dissipate with your intention. Think of it and imagine it being washed away by the sea. Think of what was weighing you down, what was laying heavy on you. Think of it and see it being washed away by the sea. The sea's pulling it out. And that seawater will definitely cleanse it because it's water and sea salt. It will just wash it all away. And know that everything's okay and it's supposed to be this way. We're in a good place. You are in a good place. God's got you. Always. I know it's a small thought, but sometimes you don't remember it, but it's good. And I'd like you to share that with somebody else that you feel or that comes to mind instantly now. Just shoot them a text, shoot them a WhatsApp. It's like, God's got you. Whatever you're going through, God's got you. Be blessed. You know? Because sometimes, too often, we listen or we absorb positive information for ourselves or positive positive and uplifting messages for ourselves, but we don't pass it on. It's all about sharing is caring. So God's got you. Be blessed. Send that on to somebody. Send it on to your mum, to your dad, to the children, grandchildren, to the neighbor, to people that are on other continents. Message them. God's got you. Be blessed. Just know that and share it with others. Anyway, we're coming to an end now. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Outspoken Truths. As always, it was lovely having you guys. Thank you to the Instagram live followers and people that popped in and shared your messages. Sorry if I didn't get to your message, but you know, as always, I will see you next week Friday at 2 here. And yeah, have a blessed week and know that God's got you. Be blessed. Until next week, guys. Bye. Thank you so much, guys, on Instagram Live. You've been amazing as always. I hope you guys got the message that God's got you. You're blessed. Your intention is everything. Everything. Your intention. So put out that intention. Have a lovely, amazing weekend. And I will see you next week, Friday. Ciao. Oops.